let's get into the elections. You started giving some hints on advice of our approach on the ground, particularly to the ASA, who are proactively trying to counter Cameroon's attempt to organize elections in Ambazonia. Now, I would like us to talk about French Cameroon's electioneering. One of the strategies is by manipulating local authorities that we've already addressed and intimidating some. We have CBDM loyalists are aggressive, lobbying their communities. We've seen Bishop Nkia previously also asking for people to do massive um, registrations and so on and so forth. I'd like you to tell us, particularly those at the home front, the ESA, how should they approach this situation? Because in just a few months' time, the campaigns and organizations will definitely escalate. We have seen them positioning people like Pastor Ambe, who has had a controversial view on the Ambazonian struggle. So much is happening, Mr. President. And Ambazonians as a collective, both in the diaspora, both in neighboring La République du Cameroon, the Ambazonian State Army, and the civilian population that is not armed would have to do something. And we are supposed to do that cohesively. What's your plan to stop the election come October?
Well, we know that the enemy outside will not do much harm if he has no enemies inside. So that is how this thing works. All these ones that are being projected here and there are recruits of the Yaounde's recruits to 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 help them to promote their agenda in our country. That is why I said the months ahead are critical. This is already April, May, June, July, August, September. We have just 5 months. We have to make sure that we use our resources on the ground with wisdom, strategically, because we don't have too much. Yes, as much as we have to be very strategic to target the problem, not just shoot in the bush. Our problem is anyone in Ambazonia who is promoting the agenda of the Republic is our problem. Any office in Ambazonia that is promoting the agenda of La République du Cameroon, that is carrying out registration of voters, that is promoting registration for people to partake in a foreign election, they are our problem. They are our problem. Any list of people, however they might be in their hundreds, who are of Southern Cameroon's origin. They are our neighbors, our friends that we may know, classmates. But who are actually partaking, promoting, participating in this election and want to become elected representatives for us, that representing us into something that we don't endorse, that we disagree with. Those are our enemies. Those are called sellouts. If you try to represent me in a society that I don't belong, and you want to steal my identification and take it to that society to tell them that you represent me, you are my enemy. So that's what it is. We have to make sure that nobody thinks about coming to campaign in Ambazonia and thinks that he is going to have a joyride. No. because that activity is proscribed in Ambazonia, is prohibited. It is it is anti-revolutionary. It is treason in Ambazonia. That means you want to sacrifice the fate of the people, including all of us, for your own personal interests, just about some crumbs on the Chingam table. So make sure the finale of all this is election day.
Yeah.
Ensure that if there were any that were able to sneak between the cracks and were able to get themselves made candidates or got themselves some electoral cards that were hidden somewhere and they we never found them, and they dare come out, let them know that they are committing the ultimate treason. And those are people that they deserve to be arrested and for interrogation. Yes, because the only one that this activity, this political activity is ordered by Yaoundé benefits is the individual, not our people. Because you cannot want to belong to a government that is killing us, that is not representing us, and you want to represent us in their midst.
Yeah.
That doesn't care about us, but you want to represent us in their midst. That can only be for your own personal interest. And if your personal interest rises above the collective interest, then you are an enemy of the people. It's better the people will find a solution for you, because your interest cannot supersede the interest of the people. That is what it's supposed to be. So my encouragement is that we strategize carefully and make sure that we are dealing with the problem, not just with the consequences of the problem, but the problem. The problem we have now are those things. I think there are about four. Those electro, those voters, the people who are voting and spreading voters card. That card is banned in Ambazonia. That card. It should not be found in your house, in your wallet, anywhere you are. You should not even. And number two, you should not be found on a list, so-called electoral list. And
Yeah.
if that is happening, means that somewhere you register maybe a year or two or three before, because those things they always recycle them. But where are they doing those recycling? Who are those recycling those lists? Who are those printing them out? Who are those compiling them? Who are those going place to place to register them? Those are the enemies of the system.
Yeah.
Those are the enemies of the people of Ambazonia. Those are the ones committing the treason. And then political campaign, banned, banned, unless the political campaign that we will authorize. And the only one we will authorize is the one that has to do with elections in various positions in the government of Ambazonia. We are not yet there yet. So we have not authorized any. Then talk less of the voting itself. Let it be known that you might sneak yourself in and out and go somewhere and go and put your thumb and run away. Then you know that you have committed a crime. Running away does not exonerate you from the crime you have committed. Let the people of Ambazonia who are fighting for their rights know who is the problem and who is not the problem. Please stop
Yeah.
targeting our women, our children, our individuals, our traders, and people who are just struggling to make a living. People who will even listen to me today and will follow every instruction. They will not do what La Republic wants them to do. You are taking away their identity card, putting them in a very difficult situation. For what? An identity card from La Republic, it helps them. It does not help La Republic.
Yeah.
It doesn't help the republic when you have the identity card. It helped you, because in this state of you need a papers of convenience to work, to operate, to run up and down. We cannot give you our own now. It will be a death sentence on the ground.
We understand, Mr. President, you're very strategic and you have been very strategic in your approach from day one that you took over office. So, if I understand very well, for those who are watching us, the president, you're requesting that if there should be checks, what should be identified is election cards, those who are having election registers, because Cameroon manipulatively puts people's names on a registrar even when they have not registered. So you've made a clear distinction on how we have to approach those different aspects. Then, in terms of collaboration with the state army in this regard, the civilian population has been called by the ASA and the Bui security chief to give information on some of those having those ballots. But I want you, as commander in chief, probably to talk to the people. They may listen to you more. How this collaboration between the civilian population and the Ambazonian state army that is working with very tight resources should be enhanced in a way that does not jeopardize a people that may be vulnerable to Cameroon's manipulation and intimidation.
First off, if you are part of our civil society and you're hearing this message, please you can replay this message and extract it and send it to uh, some of the coordinators that you have on the ground, some of our ASAs that you know. Send them this message and say, this is what the president said. I can tell you that they will not say anything opposite. They will tell you that it makes sense. So first of, let them understand. I know that their heart is in a good place. Whatever they're trying to do, they are trying to say, no, we cannot be under these people anymore. Yes, that is defining the problem, but that is not the strategy. You can well define a problem and take the wrong strategy to solve the problem. I'm saying that we all agree that the problem is we don't want the La Republic of Cameroon imposing their will again on our people. No. And they are bringing election, we don't want it. But the strategy is not that of the identification, cutting off the identity cards and destroying them and sending them back home and beating them up and asking them to pay fines for that reason. No. So I'm encouraging the community to have an understanding relationship with these people. I'm trying to say that if you give them my message, there will be a conversation so that they understand that we are not working in confusion. We are not working against each other. That they understand that this is where the government stands at this time, so that you can have a relationship and work together, because some of the information you will need, that our ASA will need, because they are the enforcement officers on the ground, they are, and other civil society we have. They are the ones enforcing the laws on the ground. So for law enforcement to be effective, there's need for communication, there's need for intelligence. And part of some of the intelligence they will need will come from you, from the people, from the civil society, from the population. So my encouragement is that you should work together. Whatever mistakes have been done, by communicating, you are going to correct them. You are going to avoid more being made. I want to say that for the ASA, please don't say that because others have done it in their counties, you are going to also do it now. They just listen to my voice and listen to the voice of reason. Because I'm saying that we don't adopt strategies just because we want to imitate what somebody else has done. We adopt strategies that we have examined. We have seen that strategically these strategies are going to help us, not the enemy. They are going to make our efforts. They are going to reward our effort. They are going to make the journey shorter and not longer. Uh, so that we do all that before we take a position, before we do something. So my prescription is that let us work together with our communities. You need the communities. I don't have to tell anyone who is fighting, who is in the trenches right now, how much you need the community around you, because they are your covering, they are your covering, they are your providers, they are your helpers, they are your information source, they are everything, your intelligence and your all. So as gorillas, you are able to use them as part of your environmental covering. So you cannot make them your enemy. No. So start working together, and so that you can now be able to help them, because it is frustrating for anyone who is in a place of authority to stop certain things, but he doesn't know what to do or where to start. By bringing that information to them, you are going to help them and give them clear directions of what is happening, where the target is and where the target is not, because we have to work together. Yes, we have to work together.
I want to say thank you, Mr. President, on behalf of every Ambazonian, that you would have to. I don't think there is any unifying message that you could present at this time than this.